Hello guys. Uh, in this video we will check about the Government of India Act 1909, which is also called as the Minto Morley reforms. The Minto Morley reforms law most key provisions వచ్చి with respect to legislatures at the both central level and the provincial level. Okay, ఇప్పటి వరకు చూస్తే till now we have observed that there was no element of election. There was only a way of nomination of Indian members to the central legislature and the provincial legislature. And this act tried to bring a concept of direct elections but to provincial legislatures but not to central legislature, and through direct elections through provincial legislatures, which you might think is a easy step, a good step. Sorry, it's not an easy step, it's a good positive step, but they introduced the most important thing, that is the communal representation. So that is, they introduced the separate electorate concept for Muslims, that is Muslim representatives can be elected, but those representatives can be elected only by the Muslim voters, not by other uh, religious groups. In this way, the British government legalized the communalism. That's why Lord Minto, who was the governor viceroy of India, was called as the father of the communal representation, or father of the communalism, father of communal politics in India. And this act, they also tried to provide a separate representation, that is representatives for representing the jamindars, chambers of commerce. For example, if you see FICCI, like such similar kind of bodies, not exactly FICCI, chambers of commerce, that is they are trying to get the goodwill of the trade bodies, and separate representation for universities, and okay, this has been repeated again. Okay, so they want, though they introduced the element of direct elections to provincial legislatures, because of the communal representation and the separate representation, they wanted to uh, deeply embed, deeply bring the divide and rule policy into the Indian politics. So though they are trying to give responsible government, or want to give the representative government in India, but they are dividing the Indians on communal lines and trade lines and business lines. They don't want Indians to be united. This is the internal intention of the Britishers in all the kinds of acts they were doing. With one hand they are giving something, on the other hand they were taking back something else. Okay, let us, and another provision is the central legislature, that is the central government. See, it is 1909. Okay, the capital is still not yet moved to Delhi, it is still in Calcutta. Okay, and if you see, the central legislature is being renamed to imperial legislature. Okay, and the strength of the imperial legislature has been increased to 60 from 16 members at the time. Okay, till 1909 the strength was 16, but it moved increased to 60. See, though the number was increased to 60, there was an official majority was retained, that is official majority means Britishers. Okay, there was the Britishers who were having a majority of this 60, that is more than 31. And there was another good news to say. Satyendra Prasad Sinha was appointed to the as a law member to the Viceroy's Executive Council. Okay, they are bringing, that is they are bringing an element of Indianization into the legislative and executive bodies, but at the same time they are taking again other things back. And in the form of provincial legislature, they introduced direct elections, as we have mentioned already, and they increased the non-official majority. It means they increased the strength of the provincial legislatures as well. If you see, there were three new and almost seven provinces have their own legislatures, for example, Agra, Bengal, Northwest Province, and Punjab, which we have already discussed in the previous lectures. But in the provincial legislatures, they gave scope for the non-official majority, that is, non-Britishers, and majorly there will be Indians. And also another good news is they have enlarged the deliberative functions of the legislative councils. That is, they can discuss, they can ask supplementary questions, they can pass resolutions on budget, etc. Okay, let us discuss about the other acts in the further videos.